The envelope sat on my kitchen counter just like it had every month for the past 7 years. $3,000 in a certified check made out to my parents. Mom, can I wear the blue dress to Grandma's party? My daughter Emma stood in the doorway. She was 9 years old, with bright eyes that still held hope my parents would eventually warm up to her. I'd fostered Emma when she was 4 and adopted her at 6. She was mine in every way that mattered, but my parents had never accepted it. Still, every month I sent that check. The blue dress is perfect, sweetheart, I said, pulling her into a hug. My phone buzzed. Mom's name flashed across the screen. Make sure you're on time tomorrow, she said without preamble. And dress appropriately. Senator Mitchell's daughter will be there and I don't want any embarrassment. We'll be there at 2, I replied. We. Her voice sharpened. You're not bringing that child, are you? I felt my jaw tighten. Emma is my daughter. Don't be ridiculous, Sarah. This is a sophisticated gathering. Family only. You know she doesn't fit in with our circle. I looked at Emma, who was humming to herself while organizing her hair clips, oblivious to the conversation. She is family, Mom. She's a foster child you took pity on. There's a difference. Anyway, I've already arranged the seating chart. There's no place for her. She paused. Unless you want to cause a scene in front of the senator's family. The call ended before I could respond. I stared at the phone for a long moment, then at the envelope on the counter. 7 years of envelopes. $84,000. But it wasn't just the monthly checks, was it? The next morning, Emma was unusually quiet during breakfast. Are you okay, honey? I asked. She pushed her cereal around the bowl. I heard Grandma on the phone yesterday. My heart sank. Emma. It's okay, she said quickly, though her eyes were glassy. I know I'm different. I know they don't think I'm real family. I knelt beside her chair. You are real family. You're my daughter and that's all that matters. Then why do we keep trying to make them like me? Her voice was small. I didn't have a good answer for that. At 1 o'clock I texted my mom, we won't be able to make it today. Emma has a stomachache. The response came within seconds. Convenient. Maybe it's for the best anyway. I sat with that message for a full minute, reading it over and over. Maybe it's for the best anyway. Something crystallized in that moment. A clarity I'd been avoiding for years. I opened my laptop and pulled up my banking records. The monthly payments to my parents were there, neat and consistent. But there was more. 4 years ago, I'd quietly paid off Dad's $85,000 business debt. The payment went through an LLC I'd set up. 3 years ago, I'd sent $45,000 for their kitchen renovation through a contest Mom had supposedly won. 2 years ago, I paid the $28,000 in property taxes on their Lake Tahoe vacation home when they were about to sell it. 6 months ago, I'd paid $52,000 for Dad's cardiac procedure through the hospital's financial aid program. I'd been supporting them for years, always anonymously, always protecting their pride. Because they were my parents and I loved them. But they just told me my daughter wasn't worthy of our name. I picked up my phone and called my accountant, David. I need you to pull all documentation of financial support I've provided to James and Patricia Morrison over the past 7 years, I said. Every payment, every transaction, every property record. David was quiet for a moment. Are you sure, Sarah? This is your parents we're talking about. I'm sure. I also need you to prepare formal notification that all future support is being terminated, effective immediately. And David? I want them to know about the vacation home. The one in Tahoe? The one you bought? The one I bought, I confirmed. That they think they own. Another pause. This is going to be a shock to them. Yes, I said quietly. It is. Emma appeared in the doorway. Mom? Are you okay? I smiled at her and for the first time in months, it felt genuine. I'm perfect, sweetheart. How would you like to spend the weekend at the lake house? Her face lit up. Really? Just us. Just us. We'll leave in the morning. After Emma went to bed that night, I received the first call. Dad's number. Sarah, we just received the strangest letter from some accounting firm, he said. His voice had that jovial confusion he used when he didn't want to acknowledge something serious. It says something about a review of financial arrangements. Is this some kind of scam? It's not a scam, Dad. That's my accountant. Your accountant? Why would your accountant be contacting us? I took a breath. Because I've been financially supporting you for 7 years, and that support is ending. Silence. That's absurd, he finally said. We don't need your support. Your mother and I are perfectly capable. Dad, I've been sending you $3,000 a month since 2018. I paid off your business debt in 2021. I paid for your kitchen renovation, your property taxes, and your medical procedure. The documentation is all in the packet David sent. More silence. Then, even if that were true, why would you stop now? Because Mom told Emma she wasn't real family. Because she's not welcome at your party. Because I'm done pretending my daughter isn't good enough for people she's been supporting without even knowing it. Now wait just a minute. I'm not done, Dad. That vacation home in Tahoe? Check your property records. Look at who's actually on the deed. I could hear papers rustling, Mom's voice asking what was wrong. This can't be right, Dad said. This says Sarah Morrison is the legal owner? That's correct. When the property taxes tripled and you were going to sell, I bought it. I've been paying all expenses for 2 years while letting you use it. That arrangement is also ending. Mom grabbed the phone. You bought our house. Without telling us. I bought a house and let you use it because you're my parents. But Emma is my daughter, and she deserves better than being told she's not worthy of our family name. This is emotional blackmail, Mom hissed. It's my property. My money. My choice. Just like it was your choice to exclude my daughter. We'll fight this, Dad said. We'll get lawyers. Everything is perfectly legal and documented. You're welcome to keep the house. You just have to start paying for it. The property taxes are due next month. That's $14,000. Then there's the $3,200 monthly maintenance fee, utilities, and insurance. The line went dead. I sat in the silence of my kitchen waiting to feel guilty. Waiting to feel like I'd made a mistake. Instead, I felt lighter than I had in years. The next morning, Emma and I loaded up the car for Lake Tahoe. As we pulled out of the driveway, my phone started ringing. Mom. Then Dad. Then Mom again. I let them go to voicemail. We were an hour into the drive when Emma asked, Are we really going to the lake house? Won't Grandma and Grandpa be mad? It's our lake house, honey. And yes, they might be mad. But that's okay. Is this because of what Grandma said about me? I glanced at her in the rearview mirror. This is because you deserve to be treated like the precious, loved, real member of this family that you are. And anyone who can't see that doesn't get the privilege of being in your life, even if they're related to me. She was quiet for a moment. Even grandparents? Especially grandparents. They should know better. When we arrived at the lake house, there was a car in the driveway. My parents' car. I felt Emma tense beside me, but I squeezed her hand. It's okay. Stay here for a minute. Mom and Dad were on the porch and they didn't look happy. You can't keep us out of our own house, Mom said immediately. I held up my phone showing the property deed David had sent. My house. My name on the deed. My decision. After everything we've done for you, Dad said, his face red. We raised you. We paid for your education. You paid for 2 years of community college before I got scholarships, I interrupted. And I'm grateful for that. But I've paid you back many times over. Check your bank records. Check every mysterious windfall you've had for the past 7 years. That was all me, Dad. All me. Mom's face had gone pale. The contest money? Me. The anonymous donor for the property taxes? Me. The financial aid for Dad's procedure? Also me. They stood there processing. I could see the calculations happening. The realization of just how dependent they'd become on money they hadn't known was mine. Why didn't you tell us? Dad finally asked, and for the first time he sounded genuinely confused rather than angry. Because you needed help and I could give it and I didn't need the credit. I did it because you're my parents and I love you. I paused. But love goes both ways, Dad. And Emma is my daughter. She's not a foster child I took pity on. She's not a charity case. She's mine, just as much as I'm yours. More actually because I chose her and she chose me. Mom's eyes were wet. We didn't mean. Yes, you did. You meant every word. You've been meaning it for 5 years. Every time you forgot her birthday, every time you made an excuse not to see her, every time you introduced me without mentioning that I had a daughter. I felt my voice crack but push through. I kept hoping you'd change. I kept thinking that if I was patient enough, generous enough, you'd eventually see what I see when I look at her. But you won't. And I'm done waiting. Emma had gotten out of the car and was standing beside me now, holding my hand. Mom looked at her. Really looked at her, maybe for the first time. Emma's sweetheart. It's okay, Mrs. Morrison, Emma said quietly. Mom says we can't make people love us. We can just decide who we let love us back. Out of the mouths of 9-year-olds. Dad cleared his throat. Sarah, we can discuss this. We can work something out. There's nothing to discuss. You're welcome to have a relationship with your granddaughter if you can treat her with the respect and love she deserves. But the financial support is over. The free use of this house is over. I'll give you until tomorrow morning to remove your personal belongings, and then I'm having the locks changed. You'd really do this? Mom asked. Over a child who isn't even blood related? And there it was, the thing they'd been thinking all along finally said out loud. She's not just related to me, Mom. She's my daughter. My real, actual, legal, and most importantly, chosen daughter. And yes, I really would do this for her. I'd do anything for her. I pulled Emma closer. Because that's what real family does. We left them standing on the porch and walked into the house. My house, to start our weekend together. My phone buzzed constantly over the next few hours. Calls, texts, voicemails. My uncle called asking what was going on. My aunt sent a long text about family obligations. Apparently, my parents were making calls, trying to rally support and paint me as the unreasonable one. I blocked their numbers and turned off my phone. Emma and I spent the evening on the dock watching the sunset over the lake. She was quiet, processing everything that had happened. Do you think they'll ever understand? She asked. I don't know, honey. Maybe. Maybe not. Are you sad? I thought about it honestly. A little. But mostly I'm relieved. And I'm proud of us. Proud of us. Proud that we know our worth. Proud that we don't settle for people who make us feel small. Proud that we have each other. She leaned against me. I love you, Mom. I love you too, Emma. My real, true, chosen daughter. The next morning, my parents' car was gone from the driveway. They'd left a note on the kitchen counter. We'll be in touch through our lawyer. I crumpled it up and threw it away. David called later that afternoon. Your parents' attorney contacted me. They want to negotiate a settlement where they keep the house in exchange for forgiving your debt to them for raising you. Actually laughed. Tell them no. Tell them they have until Friday to pay the first month's rent if they want to keep using the property, or I'm listing it for sale. You're really doing this. I really am. 3 days later, I received a different kind of call. My aunt, the reasonable one in the family. I heard what happened, she said. From both sides. I braced myself for the lecture. I think you did the right thing, she continued. I've watched them treat Emma like an afterthought for years. I've watched you bend over backward trying to make them happy. It was only a matter of time before something broke. You're not calling to convince me to reconcile? I'm calling to tell you that Emma is lucky to have you. And your parents are fools if they can't see that. She paused. For what it's worth, I'd like to take you both out for lunch next week. Get to know my great-niece better, if that's okay with you. I felt tears prick my eyes. That would be really nice. After we hung up, Emma looked up from her book. Good news. Yes, sweetheart. Good news. She smiled and went back to reading. I opened my laptop and looked at my bank account. Without the monthly payments to my parents, I'd have an extra $3,000. Without covering their expenses even more. Hey I said. How would you like to go to Disney World this summer? Her eyes went wide. Really? Just us. Just us. We'll make it a whole week. Whatever you want to do. She launched herself at me, wrapping her arms around my neck. Best mom ever. Best daughter ever, I replied. And I meant it. Every word. My phone buzzed one more time that evening. A text from an unknown number. This is your mother. We need to talk. On our terms. I deleted it without responding. Emma and I had a puzzle spread out on the coffee table, hot chocolate cooling on the side table, and a week at the lake house ahead of us. We had everything we needed. Real family doesn't demand your sacrifice while dismissing your worth. Real family doesn't make you choose between loyalty and love. Real family doesn't tell a 9-year-old girl she's not worthy of their name. Real family shows up. Real family chooses you back. And sometimes real family is just a mom and her daughter sitting by a lake finally free.